So the green light is very shortly to be given for these karts for the seniors, and the man who starts right towards the front, the man who leads the championship, looking to do well here at round 2, Pierce Lahane is on pole position, and of course, Chris, the rest of the grid is there and complete by the looks of it.
Certainly, yeah. Hopefully, we did have a couple missing earlier today, didn't we, in one of the second chance heats. But on that front row with Pierce Lahane is number 218, Leonard Hugenboom. He's going to be hoping to continue his performance into this race. Second row is Luke Valence and Brett Ward. On the third row is Rinus van Klamtout and Ed Brand. Ed Brand on the outside again, which I'm sure will be frustrating, but he'll be hoping to move himself up. Jordan Lennox Lamb, he may be British, but he lives in Italy now, so this is his home race really, and he's been performing well other than that first heat where he got involved in an incident. Josh White alongside him on that fourth row. On the fifth row is Alessandro Trombelli and Ollie Askew. On the sixth row, Sam Marsh and Christopher Drayspring. Row 7 sees Maurizio van der Laan and Max Timmermans, who was performing really well towards the second half of yesterday. On the 8th row, Denis Mavlinov, he put in a great performance at the end as well, with Karol Dobski alongside. Row 9 is Richard Verschure, who we were absolutely loving watching coming through from the rear of the grid. Alongside him on that 9th row, in 18th position, is Adrian Renaudin. Row 10 sees Jonathan Arbadain and Nicholas Pico. Row 11, Carlos Gil and Luke Varley. On the 12th row is Gary Donnelly and Jai Najar, and Burke Besler and John Stewart line up alongside each other on the 13th row. 14th row is Tom Grice and Harry Webb. 15th is Jakomati Paulin and Martin Mortensen. 16th is Sam Smelt and Shane Daly. 17th is Luke Montfort and Louis Ferdinand Simonauer.
So that's how the grid lines up. 34 karts ready to go for the seniors. And of course, the two at the front, first and second on the grid, are the teammates of Strawberry Racing. The next Strawberry Racing guys are way down in 23rd and 24th places. So they're on the same row. But as we've seen so far this weekend, if you're on the inside down towards turn 1, that's when you can make up the places. It's Luke Wilhelms in third for the team at TKP. So watch out for that blue, red and yellow machine. And of course, the man who sits also on the inside line, 5th place, is Rinus van Kamthort, who is, of course, for Dams Racing. So lots to watch out for. Not many teammates out towards the front, but what can the two on the front row do to work together? The red lights are on here for a slightly longer senior race. 13 laps of racing about to get underway. The lights don't go out. It's going to be another false start here at the Sete Lagi circuit. So juniors was a false start. Seniors is exactly the same.
You really did tempt fate there. That was interesting because Pierce Lahane was right back from Leonard Hugenboom and was pointing up towards the light. Now, did he know that that was going to happen, or was it him that caused it? He wasn't happy with it, and so he just dropped himself away. So we'll have to have that reshaped. That gives me the opportunity to also say we had a message about 20 minutes ago from Doyler122 saying, "Go on, Gary Donnelly. We're all watching back in Ardbo. Good luck." And more recently, we've had Jerome Berman. Good luck to all the Dutch and Belgian drivers.
I reckon that's in Ireland somewhere then. Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Sounds like it anyway. But yeah, good luck to all the competitors. And thank you, as always, for the messages coming through, because the drivers do like to hear them. And they'll be passed on by the team and everybody else here at the circuit as well. So the messages coming in. The drivers now slowing down once again as they work their way through the hairpin at turn number 10. And let's see this time if Pierce Lahane could just watch what's going on, if he can just judge it better this time, because it seemed like everyone was trying to jump ahead of him, as you would at the start of a race. The marshals down there at turn 11, just ushering again everyone into the best formation. It looks very nicely bunched. No one left adrift in at the back, and now they get themselves into side-by-side formation. The run down towards turn 1 is about to begin for a second time. Let's see if we get the red lights out this time round. Slightly back there from the second row is Leonard Hugenboom. The race now does get underway, and straight away goes Luke Wilhelms into second place in towards turn 1. Before the race near enough got underway, it was Luke Wilhelms trying to get down the inside line, which he's done into second. Third then has gone Leonard Hugenboom. Fourth place is going to be the 219 card of Rinus van Kamthort. So as we expected from the inside run, Rinus has gone straight through up into fourth place, and it looks like possibly Brett Ward is out the top 5 here as a move's going to be made for second place. Leonard Hugenboom gets back down the inside of Luke Wilhelms, so he now drops into third place. Rinus van Kamthort was trying to look as well, and the other one trying to work his way through, and he's done a great job of doing so, is Jordan Lennox Lamb. Kart 275 is going to be inside the top 4 places, so what a start from Jordan. He was 7th on the grid. Down towards turn 10 they go, and watch out now for Jordan. He should be a very quick racer here. A former DD2 racer. He's in seniors for this weekend, but it's going to be our pole sitter, Pierce Lahane, that leads the end of lap number 1.
what a fabulous opening lap there from Leonard Hugenboom, because he dropped himself nice and cleanly into that third position, because he knew full well that Luke Valence had managed to push himself through by having that inside line, but he didn't wait around, did he? Hugenboom was not going to let the leader Pierce Lehane disappear off into the distance, so he's got himself into second, and he's now chasing after Pierce Lehane in the lead there. So great performance there. Rinus van Kamthout, he moved up from 5th into 3rd on the grid. And as you say, Jordan Lennox-Lamb up into 4th from 7th. An absolutely cracking opening lap. Look at this, the front three. They're not settling into any kind of routine at the moment. They're not prepared to just try and drag themselves away. They're fighting amongst themselves. It looks like Jordan is up into that 3rd position now. And in fact, I think we'll find that Rinus van Kamthout is now in 2nd, and that Leonard Hugenboom finds himself down in 4th.
He certainly is. Can he make a move though? Back at turn number 1. He thinks about it on Jordan Lennox-Lamb. They work their way through the corner, and now they're starting to be joined by Brett Ward in the mixers. And the man in 4th place there, Leonard Hugenboom, tried to get a move at turn 2 on Jordan Lennox-Lamb, but it didn't quite work though, so he sits in 4th place. 3rd is still Jordan, and the top 2 now just have a slight margin over the rest of the field. So Pierce Lehane and Rinus van Kamthout, but it's all action for 3rd place. Brett Ward is now in the mix. Down the inside he goes at turn number 7, and he gets the job done. 3 goes on Leonard Hugenboom. So from the front row, Leonard is losing places here, hand over fist, as Brett Ward has got himself through. What can Luke Wilhelms now do in the blue machine that sits there in 6th place? There's great scraps going on way down the field. Someone all over the grass there on the exit of turn number 10, but watch out for the top 2. And now watch out for Jordan Lennox-Lamb. He's got clear track ahead of him. He's going to try and bring this gap down. He goes through to do a 50.7, which is going to be, in fact, a 50.7, yeah. He's slightly slower than still the top 2 here.
Yeah, but now he's not only got the clear track in front of him, he's got a degree of clear track behind him, which means that he can probably focus forwards rather than backwards for the next couple of laps. That means he is now targeting the back of that Rinus van Kamthout car, 219, who is all over the back of Pierce Lehane. Pierce Lehane is not getting this his own way at all, is he? He was very pleased to have this on pole position for today's pre-final, but he is being pushed hard as they go through turn number 9, the first of the 2 hairpins, down to turn number 10. They're just trying to take the racing line, but oh, look at this, going through turn 9 just behind is an absolute gaggle of karts, and they're just squabbling with each other, left, right, centre, as our leader now comes across the line and just made a mini break there, Pierce Lehane. He's up to 0.2 ahead, which is massive by the standards we've seen in those opening 4 laps. And Jordan Lennox-Lamb's not really got an answer at the moment to close on the back of these 2. But that now behind Jordan Lennox-Lamb has become an 8-kart train. So are they going to start working together to try and hunt down this leading duo?
Watch out for Brett Ward as well, the man who sits in 4th place. A bad pre-final at Salisbury, but made up for it to get inside the top 15 in the final race. Here at the minute, he's running very strongly inside the top 4, right over the tail at the minute of Jordan Lennox-Lamb. They work their way down towards turn number 10. Still plenty of time to go. Just going to be 8 laps remaining on the clock. So a junior race is still within these seniors to go, as the leader, Pierce Lehane, comes through the final corner. Still second then for Rinus van Kamthout. Again, gets closer and closer on the run down towards turn 1. Just sits behind a 10th of a second at the minute. So Rinus is on the money here. Really strong race for him. He started, of course, down in 5th place, so he's doing well. Sits there in 2nd again. He tries to get the run through turns 4 and 5 onto the back straight, and will he have a look this time down towards turn 6? He'll think about it. He'll get in the toe once more. He won't quite dart out though, and he still remains there in 2nd place. 3rd is still Jordan Lennox-Lamb. He's got Brett Ward now all over the tail of him, and then just a kart or so back from that is 5th place, which is Leonard Hugenboom. Stan Marsh is up to 6th. Josh White sits in 7th. A change for the lead as well. Down the inside he goes. Rinus van Kamthout, we saw it coming. Pierce Lehane left the door open at turn number 9, and Rinus didn't need any second invitation. He now is the leader of this senior race.
And look what that move has done for this train behind, is that Jordan Lennox-Lamb is now right up there with them, joined by 207 Brett Ward. So the 2 of those are not just worrying about fighting amongst themselves. They've now managed to close in on the lead too. Rinus van Kamthout and Pierce Lehane were so much involved in their own squabble. They've now been joined, and that's become a 4-car train. Slight gap back, and then it's 5th down to 10th. So that's Sam Marsh, Leonard Hugenboom, Josh White, Luke Valence, Christopher Drayspring, and Ed Brand in 203 is at the back of that pack. He started in 6th. He's given us the track guide, and he's going to be hoping to put that expertise into action here and see if he can move himself through the order in that ongoing train.
He may be the one to watch, though. The best position to be right towards the back as Piers Lehane there, by the looks of it, goes for a move on the lead once again. He does, so he gets back ahead of Rinus van Kamthor. So this is up and down the order for these two at the minute, and Rinus is glued to the back now of Piers Lehane. He's not going to let him go here again. The top four separated by a very small margin, just 0.3 of a second as they cross the line that time. It's Piers Lehane, Rinus van Kamthor down the inside at turn 2, and here comes Jordan Lennox-Lamb. He goes right round the outside line. Brett Ward for the inside at turn number 4. There's contact between the two, and also the guys behind will also get into the mix as well. Sam Marsh comes through, and watch out for Josh White as well. But look at that, 1 or 2 corners, a little move down the inside line. The championship leader, the leader of the race, Piers Lehane, is down to 5th place and still under attack. There's contact further back. Sam Marsh goes for a spin. Luke Wilhelms was involved as well. But what drama has kicked off now here on the 8th lap of the race?
Good grief, I think, it was Piers Lehane involved in that as well. It is, because he's a lot further back, so that has really turned it on its head, hasn't it? In the lead now will be coming Rinus van Kamthor, but he's now got the red and white cart just behind him, which is Jordan Lennox-Lamb. The two of them, with everything that has happened, means that they have managed to pull away. In third positions now, Sam Marsh, Brett Ward, Ed Brand, we said to keep an eye on him, Leonard Hugenboom, Christopher Drayspring, Dennis Mavlenov moving on up. Where does that put? Piers Lehane is down in 15th position, Matt. We watched it as they came through turns 2, 3 and into 4 and 5, and it was a ripple effect that just sent him further back and back and back, and then they went down into that turn number 7 and all hell broke loose.
It certainly did, and even worse than that, Luke Wilhelms has dropped down to 19th place. So both of those who are vying for the lead of the race have now dropped way down the field outside the top 15. That's not going to do them any favours within the championship here at round number 2. But Rinus van Kamthor is now our leader. Jordan Lennox-Lamb up into 2nd place. Sam Marsh, Brett Ward together still for 3rd and 4th. And the next train being led now by 203. As we said, one to watch out for. He was 10th just a lap ago. He's now up into the top 5 places, but the pressure will start to build now for Ed Brand as well. He's got Leonard Hugenboom on his tail, the pole man of course. 217 is also in the mix, which is Christopher Drayspring and Dennis Mavlenov. What a race for Dennis from 15th on the grid. He now finds himself in 8th place, and another potential man to get himself inside the top 5 places with this one, which has just 3.5 laps to go. It's getting good, Chris.
Isn't it just? This is unbelievable. Piers Lehane has actually lost another spot. Martin Mortensen, who obviously had to go through the second chance heat, has moved up to 15th, relegating Piers Lehane to 16th. So that's just, he's going to be devastated. Now, what's he going to do? Red mist, or is he going to be composed and try and get himself up as far as he can? Certainly great composure at the front from Rinus van Kamthor. Cart 219 still sits there in the lead from Jordan Lennox-Lamb. Is Lennox-Lamb just lining him up, finding at which point he can make a dive up the inside? At the moment, he's just sat pretty, watching. He's not under pressure from behind. And the same can't be said for Sam Marsh. Brett Ward is all over the back of Sam Marsh, trying to get up. Brett Ward trying to get up into that 3rd. He's probably the one that's going to be frustrated by everything that happened there, because he pretty much ended up in the same position as he was before all the melee started. It all basically happened around him, and he stayed static.
Yeah, he didn't go forward, he didn't go backwards. He's still there in 4th place, still stuck behind Sam Marsh. So no way through for Brett Ward just yet. I wouldn't bet against Piers Lehane having a bit of damage on that cart as well, because it looked like the cart of Luke Wilhelms rode straight over Piers Lehane. He's down there still in 16th place as the leaders cross the line now for the 11th time of asking. On to lap number 12 with 2 to go in this 13-lap race for the pre-finals from the seniors. Round they go at turns 2 and 3. Down on towards the back straight. The top 2 will head. And at the minute, they separate themselves by 1/4 of a second. So 1st and 2nd are there. There's 3rd and 4th, which is still Sam Marsh and Brett Ward. And they are kind of 2 by 2 at the minute. So the top 2 are together. 3rd and 4th are together. And then it's a 4-way train from 5th place backwards, which involves the likes of Ed Brand, Leonard Hugenboom, Dennis Mavlenov, and Christopher Drayspring has also attached himself onto the rear of that fight as well. But the leader at the minute, Rinus van Kamthor, can he hold on for just over another lap here?
Absolutely, they will come round to see this last lap board, and I don't think it would be as far as a relief at the moment, because he probably also knows that Jordan Lennox-Lamb is going to be lining him up for that move, and he's going to be wary of it. He's got to make sure, especially these 2 complexes they're heading into now. Turns 2, 3, the right and left flick, then they head into a left and right flick, of turns 4 and 5 so that he can take as much speed as possible down onto that back straight. He has managed to do that without any kind of issues. He's not being closed in on at the moment, but I tell you what, that third and fourth, Sam Marsh, Brett Ward, they are incredibly close as they head down towards that turn number 7 for the final time.
And Brett Ward is looking so threatening. He just had a look over his shoulder just to make sure who was closer to him and if he could in fact go for a move on Sam Marsh. I'm sure he's going to go for something down here at turn number 10. Let's have a look. Not quite. He's all over the rear of the bumper though, but the man who's done this one to perfection, again, Rinus van Kaanthorpe, a name we didn't really talk about, is going to win the pre-final here at Sette Lagi. He wins by a very small margin once again, with Jordan Lennox-Lamb coming home in second place. Sam Marsh holds on to the third spot and some good points for him as well. Fourth place goes to Brett Ward, couldn't quite make a move on that final lap, and Ed Brand comes through fifth in that race. He works his way, of course, through the field. He was on the outside on that first lap, row number 3, but still that's a solid performance for Ed Brand.
Just noticed that on that last lap that we had Leonard Hugenboom just lost out another position, finishing 7th. Denis Mavlanov managed to sneak past him on that final lap, so we knew somebody was going to try and do something on that last lap, and you could almost guarantee that it would still get mental. Here are the final results up on the screen now. Rinus van Kaanthorpe taking a fabulous victory by 1/4 of a second ahead of Jordan Lennox-Lamb. Sam Marsh in 3rd, just holding off Brett Ward, and closing in on them at the end was Ed Brand, finishing in 5th position. Denis Mavlanov just snuck himself up into that 6th on the final lap, just ahead of Leonard Hugenboom, probably going to be slightly frustrated after starting on the front row. Christopher Dreyspring in 8th. 9th was Richard Verschure, yet again a cracking performance by Richard. Maurizio van der Laan, Josh White in 11th, Carlos Gill, Gary Donnelly, Luke Varley in 14th. 15th was Martin Mortensen. Pierce Lehane ended up finishing in 16th position. He's going to be frustrated with that, I'm sure. In 17th we had Karol Dabski, 18th Oliver Askew, Berke Besler, who came here 2nd in the championship, only managing to finish 19th, so not the haul of points he was hoping for. 20th was Jonathan Aberdeen. Harry Webb down in 21st, so still the work continues on the kart. Luke Willems, after the moments that we watched there, finishing in 22nd position. He's going to be very frustrated for sure. 23rd, Louis Ferdinand Simonauer. Shane Daly down in 24th. Luke Montfort in 25th, so not the race that he was hoping for. Yakamati Powell in 26th. John Stewart, the championship 2nd position, finishing in 27th place. Jai Najar in 28th. 29th was Nicholas Pico, Sam Smell, Adrian Renardin, and rounding out the actual finishers was Alessandro Trombelli, because we had DNFs from Max Timmermans and Tom Grice. Those two won't be happy not finishing that race.
So there you go then, they are the championship points for seniors after that first pre-final, and it was Pierce Lehane who is on 108 points, Ed Brand 107 now, and Sam Marsh drops to 3rd, or in fact improves to 3rd on 101 points. Berke Besler, John Stewart, the big losers. Maurizio van der Laan and Jai Najar are your top 7 in the championship after that pre-final race.